I'm Jen of All Trades, and welcome to my channel. And today we're having another astrology chat. So today we're going to talk about Sagittarius. And as always, I have my notes with me. Sagittarius is one of those signs that I've gotten to know very well because my dad was a Sagittarius, and it's just one of those signs that I've always jived with because I'm a Gemini, and Gemini and Sagittarius are polar signs, which means we're exactly opposite on the zodiac. So you would think that that means we're like two opposite, but actually there's so many similarities, and they find an ease of communication with each other. So I know Sagittarius pretty well, but I have notes anyway. The duality is masculine, which means that they are outer directed and strong via action. Sagittarians are a fire sign, which means that your qualities are active and enthusiastic. And your quadruplicity is that you are mutable, flexible, versatile, and adaptable. So your most likable trait? Optimism. Super optimistic people, which I absolutely love. My dad was actually a very pessimistic person on the outside, but there was always so much hope underneath it, and that's his Sagittarius coming out. He was like, well, world's gonna end, but there was always a, world's gonna end, but what do you want for dinner? I'm thinking some good stuff. Today seems like a good day. And it's like, did you just... So that optimism can take many forms. You are energetic, ambitious, and generous with all things and your time. But about time, you're freedom loving. Freedom is the name of your game, and that's something that Gemini and Sagittarius definitely have in common. You are generous with your time as long as it is your time to do what you want with it. You are seekers of a challenge. Sagittarians tend to be a very intellectual sign. So mental challenges, more than physical challenges, is what you're looking for. But, I mean, you'll take what you can get. The one thing about Sagittarius is that if ever you see somebody who's, like, got wanderlust, they might be a Sagittarius. Sagittarius love new ideas and exploration. You thrive and just kind of crave you thrive on and crave the idea of exploring new territory. And it's a Sagittarius that wants to go backpacking across Europe, which my dad did. So it's like there's this need to see and know and experience everything. That's a Sagittarius. You also really love philosophy and higher learning. There's that intellectualism again. It's like you don't just want to see the world, you want to understand it. You want to go to a new place, learn everything you can about the area itself, but also the people and the hows and the whys of what they do and why it's different. You want to know everything. And you're happiest when you're discovering those new ideas and exploring those distant places. That is when you are at your sunshiniest. You dislike being tied down, though. You don't like commitments, and you don't like being tied down to anything. You want, like when you're looking for a job in life, you want that kind of job that's going to be like on the go, you know? Oh yeah, you can take your laptop and just work from anywhere. That's, I have a student who's not a Sagittarius at all, but her moon is in Sagittarius, and she's exactly this need for freedom, wanderlust, needs to explore the world, and she's actually doing that right now. She found a job that'll let her work from anywhere, and she's actually vlogging and blogging and going around the country. And I'm like, you are definitely your moon sign, not your sun sign. You guys are restless and eager to get on with life, whatever that means to you. If you're sitting in class, you're like, all right, when's this class over? I want to go do the next thing. You're just so ready for the next adventure, because you are a free spirit. You don't like being tied down, and you definitely don't like being given a set of parameters and a set of rules that you have to follow. You're like, no, I am my own person. I just want to be free to do as I please. You have a cheerful disposition, and clouds tend to roll over quickly with you. A bad day never lasts all day with the Sagittarius, unless it's like a really bad day. But like, for the most part, it doesn't last all day. Unlike Gemini, though, with the wanting to know everything, Geminis just want to, like, touch on something. Sagittarius wants to know everything. So, like, Gemini will skim the surface, but Sagittarians go deep into learning everything, which I guess that means that the only commitment is to yourself. Like, that's the only like commitment that you're not afraid to have, is that you don't mind committing to taking a giant book and reading the whole thing. And I'll be there in a couple hours. I've got a thing to do, because you set that parameter for yourself. No one told you that you had to read that. Sagittarians are much more into learning what they want to learn for the sake of learning it, rather than because they have to for a grade. The other thing about Sagittarians, though, is that along with that commitment, it's not phobia, it's like an aversion to, is that you avoid emotion. And sometimes in relationships especially, you tend to lack passion and feeling because you're never really fully committed. You always have your eye on the exit door. And I'm going to say it's until you find that special someone, but I feel like Sagittarians and Geminis too, we always have that like, okay, but like I want to get to the next thing. And that doesn't mean that you don't want to be in your relationship. It means you're constantly seeking change and you're constantly seeking mental stimulation. And so the world around you needs to adapt to that need. And sometimes being in a relationship can feel very the same all the time. So that eye on the exit door isn't because you don't want to be in your relationship, it's because you want to move on to the next thing, not necessarily with a different person. I hope that makes sense. But you're committed in friendship. You're the kind of person that will do favors, no strings attached, for the people around you. You're constantly wanting to be helpful. And I mean, you have all this knowledge, you might as well share it, right? I love that. The thing about Sagittarius is your freedom is everything to you, and you will always choose the tough path with less money if it means that you can be free. So someone who's a Sagittarius is way less likely to take that CEO job that's going to eat up all of your free time and weekends, and basically you don't work to live, or you don't live to work, you work to live. That's the phrase. You would always rather have that job that, oh, here's a great example. I have a friend, she's actually not a Sagittarius, but I bet she has some of that in her. She has a job at Guitar Center because she's in a band. Guitar Center is not the, highest paying job on the planet, but it grants her the ability to say, okay, my band's going on tour, takes a leave of absence, can come back to that job. That freedom is worth not being a millionaire, and that's really important to a Sagittarius specifically. I gotta look up her chart. I bet she's got a Sagittarius ascending or a moon, something like that. Girl's got wanderlust like nobody's business too. So I can't wait till my friends actually watch these videos and go, oh, she talked about me. But yeah, Sagittarians have a great sense of humor, and it really helps them communicate with other people about everything, because your great sense of humor allows you to never really take anything like seriously. It's great, especially since you do have a wide range of interests and you can talk to anybody about anything. It means that your possibilities for friends are endless. In business, you are imaginative and clever. You're the think outside the box problem solver, and you work best under pressure. If something is on the line, that's when you perform your best. You are straightforward and honest with everyone and everything. You don't like having your options or opportunities restricted. You don't like a limited choice. You want to choose between everything. You don't want to know that like you want this shirt, but it's only available in black or white. You want it to be available in red and orange and green, and maybe you want to buy every single color so that you have all these options in your closet. You love options, and you don't like being told that you have to choose between just a few things. You dislike the dailiness of life. A Sagittarius does not want a mundane life. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be a Sagittarius and have like a schedule, but it does mean that you're going to find ways of making your schedule interesting. Sagittariuses have to sometimes be their own best friend when it comes to who's going to make my life like more the way I want it. Sagittarius has to be that person that does it sometimes, because you may not find that job that's going to let you just gallivant around the world whenever you want to. So you find ways of exploring the world within your own schedule that you have to have. Maybe you have 5 kids, and so you can't go travel the world because you got 5 kids right now, but maybe instead of traveling the world, you do a weekly cultural cook night where you explore the culinary recipes of certain cultures around the world with your family. Maybe that's how you satisfy your wanderlust as a Sagittarius. Also, really cool idea that my friend did. Sagittarius is, again, with the not wanting to be tied down, that tends to bleed into not wanting to keep a schedule. And so there are plenty of forgotten appointments and missed deadlines and unfinished projects in the life of a Sagittarius, but it's okay. The one greatest thing about a Sagittarius, aside from, I mean, if you ever want a backpacking friend, they're there. You play with all your cards on the table. You don't hide anything. It takes too much time to hide something because you want the ability to go, okay, thanks, bye, and then leave. If you start, like, if you don't play with all your cards on the table, people are going to keep you there longer and wonder what more you have. You're like, nope, this is all I got. Let me know when we're done. Okay, thanks. So that's a Sagittarius in a nutshell. It's one of my favorite signs because I don't really have wanderlust, but I love hearing about the stories of people that love to travel, and most of the Sagittarians in my life are those people. And it's not just that they love to travel, they can't stop talking about it, and their excitement is infectious. So Sagittariuses, with your need to be free but also need to know everything, you've got a busy life ahead of you and none of it is scheduled. When it comes to love, Sagittarians do better with other fire signs and not so great with earth signs. So other Sagittarians, Leos, and Aries are great together with Sagittarius. Ones to avoid astrologically are the earth signs, which are Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Sagittarians love lots of attention on what they're thinking about, what they're doing. They want to have conversations, they want to learn, they want to explore, they want a travel partner. Capricorns, Taurus, and Virgo have very organized, specific agendas for themselves that they may not always be as ready to go do something as a Sagittarius is, and that could kind of hinder the wanderlust, you know? So when it comes to Sagittarius, you really want other fire signs, other super passionate people. When it comes to Sagittarius, what you really want are other very passionate people, which you will always find in a fire sign. Now again, you got to take these with a grain of salt because this is just astrologically. This doesn't mean that you can't be compatible with the person that you're with if, oh no, I'm a fire sign and they're an earth sign. It's just astrologically speaking. These are just pointing out what will be difficult about the relationship, but not necessarily impossible. But yeah, that's Sagittarius. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and talking about one of my absolute favorite things of all time, astrology. I'm going through all the signs in order, starting with Virgo, because we started these videos during the month of Virgos. That's why I started with that. So if you're waiting for your sign, don't worry, it's coming. And yeah, subscribe to this channel and start hanging out with me more often, I guess. And hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, because then other people can find it easier and talk to me about astrology. And we all want astrology friends, okay? Like the minute I find out you like astrology, I'm like, let's talk. So I love it. Thanks again for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in a video real soon.